Hi, I'm Stacy Henderson, and I'm the Workforce Development Librarian here at Charleston County Public Library. And today I'd like to talk with you about soft skills. Now, you may have heard the term soft skills thrown around here and there, especially if you're on the hunt for a job, but you might be a little uncertain as to what soft skills actually are and how to use them. So, I've got a presentation here. We're going to break down the different types of soft skills and how you can use them to your advantage. So first, I'm going to shrink my little bubble head and come down in the bottom left and get started. So what are soft skills? Soft skills refer to the interpersonal and social skills that we use to interact with people on a daily basis. The website Indeed.com describes hard skills as being more technical and job specific. For instance, how many words per minute can you type on a keyboard? Soft skills, on the other hand, are considered more personality traits and habits that you use both in and out of the workplace. Now, there are different types. There's a lot of different types. Some of the major ones that we're going to go over with today are communication, teamwork, work ethic, and interpersonal skills. Communication is kind of a big one, so it can be broken down even further. One type of communication is verbal, which is obviously the words that you speak. Nonverbal communication can be a little bit harder to monitor. It refers to your body language, your posture, and your facial expressions. Eye contact is important, especially when you're trying to impress someone and convey respect. But I am very guilty of this, and I think a lot of people are. Anxiety and nervousness, or even some cultural norms can make it difficult for some people to look another person in the eye and communicate how they're feeling or their idea, what they're trying to prove. When it comes to the workplace, though, it is important to make eye contact and maintain eye contact while you're speaking and while you're listening to somebody, because it lets them know you're actively paying attention and it conveys respect. Crossed arms, slouching, putting your feet up on the table, those are all things you don't want to do. It can indicate that you don't respect the person who you're interacting with, or you don't care if you get this job or not. So shoulders back, sit up straight, try to maintain eye contact as long as you can. And, this is learning a new skill, and that can be tricky. Practice makes perfect. The more you do it, the easier it's going to get. So the next type of communication is written communication. This written communication refers to the words that you write. This can be in an email to a coworker or supervisor. You want to use proper grammar, proper spelling. There's spell check on most software now, which is wonderful. But you don't want to use, foul language, curse words, a lot of abbreviations. Written communication also refers to something you produce, like maybe you have to write up a story or a document for your company. Again, proper grammar, proper spelling, proofread it, edit it, have somebody else look at it for good measure. The next type of communication is visual communication. That refers to what we see. And regarding soft skills, it's usually about your appearance. Not everybody, of course, can afford fancy new clothes, but there are ways to dress professionally on any budget. So, proper hygiene, um, go over the workplace manual to make sure that you're within dress code. Um, you don't want to wear something that you would wear to a concert to your job most of the time. There are exceptions. Um, the next type of communication, in my opinion, is one of the most significant traits of a good communicator, and that's active listening. You might not think of listening as being considered a form of communication, but listening well and paying close attention to what and how someone else speaks can help you better respond to them. So, the next soft skill I'd like to tell you about is teamwork. Um, some of us are more introverted and prefer to work alone, but there are very few jobs where you can pull that off. You're going to have to talk to somebody else and collaborate with somebody else. It may not be your favorite thing, but it's important to be civil and cordial and be able to communicate effectively. Being humble and open-minded, being flexible. People see you as appealing and approachable. Others will be encouraged to collaborate with you and appreciative of your consideration. You'll probably encounter people of all personality types in your job. That's just, we're all different. And it's important to realize that you may not be best friends with everyone you work with, but it's important to be civil and it's important to be courteous. That being said, you don't want to be a doormat, and it's very important to speak up if you ever feel uncomfortable or threatened to anybody. Go to HR, go to your supervisor, go to their supervisor if need be. All right, the next aspect of soft skills is your work ethic. Your work ethic refers to the moral principles you use to guide your work. Being punctual, meeting deadlines, correcting errors on your work, and the responsibility that you display are all examples of work ethic. Good work ethic, or lack thereof, can help your coworkers and supervisors assess how trustworthy you are, how disciplined you are, and how respectful you are. And in order to get ahead or do well or be recognized, maybe a pay increase, you need to show that you're in it to win it and you're going to put hard work. Okay, the final aspect of soft skills that I'm going to talk with you about are interpersonal skills. These are often referred to as people skills because these are the ways that we interact, especially one-on-one with people. And employers want to know, can you develop a good rapport with somebody? Can you find common ground and keep the conversation moving comfortably? Building a rapport is all about making the effort and taking the time to develop a connection with somebody. And this just isn't, it's not limited to things like sales. It can be customer service, across the counter, you're waiting tables, or you're on the phone with somebody. It's great to find people are going to remember how you make them feel. So break the ice. Even it sounds silly, but talk about the weather. Are you both parents? Pay someone a compliment. Actively listen to them and find out how you can relate to someone else. Pay attention to how they communicate and see if you can kind of mirror them and reply in a similar fashion. Mirroring behavior like this brings comfort and familiarity, and you're going to seem more friendly to them. You're going to seem more approachable. You're going to seem like someone they've known for a while, and they'll open up and be more encouraged to interact with you. The next thing is constructive criticism, and this can be tough. You should be able to give and take criticism constructively. And while receiving criticism is never easy, it's most helpful when done in a productive way. If somebody comes and attacks you and shames you about your work, you're probably going to feel self-conscious and resentful and probably less encouraged and motivated to change your behavior or improve your work. Similarly, if you're making suggestions to someone else, it's best to approach them kindly and directly. The final aspect of interpersonal skills is very important, and that is empathy. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and imagine from their perspective how they're feeling. It's important in any type of relationship, in and out of the workplace. The better we understand that where someone's coming from, the better we're able to respond to their needs. Empathy creates connection, appreciation, and trust. Customers and coworkers will feel seen and heard and will usually consider your interaction positive, which is going to make you look even better. So, we are more than happy to help. I know things are a little strange right now with the library buildings being shut down, but we are working on some ways we can interact with you virtually in the workforce development world. If you have any questions about finding a job, or you want interview practice, or you want to talk about soft skills, we're here to help, and we would love to help. You can reach out to us, not just for items in the library, but questions about interviews and soft skills. Where else can you look for a job? Maybe we've got some different websites or tools that we can pass along. You can get in touch with us several ways. You can give us a call. Our number is 843-805-6930. You can text a librarian, or you can email us, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So, thanks for joining me, and I hope this was helpful. See you soon.